Welcome to the Au Jus. I'm your host, Beef Loaf. This show is being sponsored by our friends, Punky's Pizza and Pasta, located at 2600 South Wallace, my personal favorite eatery in the neighborhood. They have the best selection of pizzas and pastas, as well as sandwiches and salads of any spot in Bridgeport. Currently, they have a terrific Monday nights only special. 1 medium cheese pizza for $12.99. No promo codes, no minimums. Just place the order after 3 p.m. and you get 1 medium cheese pizza for $12.99. Toppings can be added, but for the normal prices. Hit the website, punkie'spizza.com, for all your carryout or delivery needs or to cater your next party. You can also call 312-842-2100. The Scarlotta family will take care of you. Punky's Pizza and Pasta. This show is also powered by you, the loyal 108 supporter. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Feel free to tickle the undercarriage in the process. Like, comment, turn on notifications, and most definitely super chat, because that's how we get paid. It's how we continue to make the content you know and love. Tonight's guest. He's 1/3 of the power trio known as From the 108. He's been called The Face by Brian Billick. The man loves cookie cake, psychedelics, and BTRA. And besides that, he's my man, 50 grand, MySoxSummer. Welcome back to the Au Jus, my friend.
Thank you. Man, 50 grand is a great way to come in. You're spitting straight fire right now. You had Carl last week. You have me this week.
That's right.
I mean, you talk about a personality train. This is definitely a personality train.
We're rolling, and people don't want to get out of the way. They want to jump on board. That's how they've been enjoying this. They enjoyed last week with Carl. They're going to enjoy this week with you. MySoxSummer, I'm having you on because, you know, this is something that you're passionate about, and as long as I've known you, is White Sox Fan Fest, which has been called Sox Fest for basically its entire, existence. And there's some different things going on with Sox Fest, but a lot of internet chatter so far. And we haven't addressed it fully. We've absorbed a little bit from here or there, and I haven't had you speak long form. So I really need to get in with you on this. Are you ready? Is your notebook full of stuff to talk about here?
I have a shitload of notes because this is we have an agenda for every for every one-way podcast. This is 3 times as long as any agenda we've ever had for a podcast. Like live shows, definitely it's been this long. Like Festivus will be this long, but this is long. So yes, I'm ready.
I love to see it.
I'm ready. Right. I have at least 3 pages of notes.
Let's get on to it. So the first question right out of the gate, and it was announced very, very recently. What is Sox Fest Live at Renova Theater? What the fuck is it?
So now from the website and from Merck's article, Sox Fest Live at Remova returns Friday and Saturday, January 24th and 25th in 2025 from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Yes, that's 4 fucking hours. 4 hours each night. It's a new live format that reimagines the traditional fan convention into an immersive fan experience. Okay. This year's event promises a unique blend of entertainment, interactive experiences with players and White Sox guests, and celebrations of seasons past and those ahead. We're going to celebrate the past and the future of the Chicago White Sox.
Hello.
Yeah.
Now, what does that mean to you? Like, what? I just heard that.
What does that mean?
It's 4 hours each night. We're going to celebrate everything. It kind of said, right? No.
I mean, I would hope so. I mean, you can get through last season in probably 30 minutes of the celebrations, right? I mean, is there anything to celebrate?
Poquito, yeah.
I mean, there's nothing, right? Like, it ended.
We had the most losses.
Right. It started and it ended. Like, Garrett Crochet was not that bad. And then, he has hopefully flipped us 6 new prospects by the time.
He probably won't even be there by the time we.
No, he will not. I mean, I hope not. Anyway.
So let me ask this though. Yeah. The event. What's the cost look like for the average person that's going? Like, what is it? What's the fare to get your ass in the door?
Well, hold on a second. In addition to hearing from the members of the 2025 White Sox clubhouse, new manager Will Venable and the front office fans will enjoy an evening on stage featuring entertaining programming centered around players and their personalities, both on and off the field. Okay. They're going to launch the season-long celebration of the White Sox 125th anniversary. And the schedule will include special guests from some of the White Sox most memorable areas, including the 2005 World Series championship team. Okay. So that's coming too. That's part of the whole thing. Now, you just asked, there's going to be live music. There's going to be performances. How much does this cost? I'm glad you brought this up. If you want to get a general admission ticket for a single day, it is $56 after Mark Burley, right? $56. It's a good thing. If you're a season ticket holder, You get it for $51. I don't know who was number 51, but maybe Alex Rios. I'm not sure. But you save $5 if you give them thousands of dollars for season tickets. Beautiful. Now, the fee on a single day general admission ticket is $17.40.
Wow.
It ends up being $73.40 for one day at Sox Fest.
One day
Live.
That's 4 hours,
4 hours
at Sox Fest Live at Ramova, either Friday or Saturday. Not both. Either or, right? Okay, got it.
Not both. Now, you can also do this. There's an after party that will be 1 hour every night, which include there's some things that includes, but it is $100 a ticket for 1 hour plus $21.80 in fees.
Oh, baby. That's a popping hour right there.
It's a lot, okay? And this is what's included in your general admission. You have access to Sox Fest Live Level 1, the theater area. So like downstairs where the actual theater is, you can go there. And the main stage floor. So down there's like a little floor there. Mixed GA with seating and standing options for event programming. White Sox displays and interactive player experiences. The talk that I've heard is they're going to be setting up little areas that you go and somebody will be there and you can go say hi to them and take a picture. At traditional Sox Fest, they used to have photograph stages. You would go over, you would just get a picture with the person. They did not sign anything at that point.
Okay.
You would just go and get a picture taken.
And where are you envisioning this to be on the concert floor? So like the Ramova Theater, the main area that holds like, I don't know, 1,600 people or whatever. It's like a concert. If you've ever been to like the Riviera or somewhere, it kind of looks like
the Metro.
Or the Metro. It's bigger than the Metro, but it looks like the Metro. Yeah, like kind of like that. That's right.
Yeah, it's 1,800. It's an 1,800 person venue is basically what it is.
Okay.
And then there is going to be dynamic photo opportunities with easy access to Sox Fest, live installations and setups, immersive and high energy atmosphere at the heart of Sox Fest Live's historic theater experience. Loaf, I don't know what the fuck that means. Okay. Did you? I'm going to read it one more time.
Read it.
Maybe you can. Maybe immersive and high energy atmosphere at the heart of Sox Fest Live's historic theater experience. That comes with the ticket, but I don't know what it is. It just comes with it.
You don't got to pay extra for that. That's right.
And then there's concessions available for purchase if you're a GA person. You can go and buy some concessions. They have beer there, obviously. They have great drinks. So, we've been there.
Ramova in general has got good beer, and it does have good cocktails too. And I now my assumption here is that there is a long bar kind of in the venue there. I assume they'll sell drinks there, but I assume they'll post up bars other places as well. That would be my guess, but I have no idea.
I would hope so.
Okay, that's the guess right there. Now, I've heard that there's a VIP component to this. MySoxSummer. What can you tell me a little bit about the VIP component of this?
Now, listen, if you're a baller. And you have some extra money and you want to go all out for Sox Fest, and multiple people that I know have purchased this already.
Oh, okay.
It is $225 for the day. Okay. You get a fee of $34.30. So you're rolling $260 per day to be an MVP at Ramova. Now, this is what you can get the after party ticket for $100. This is what you get with the MVP package. Early entry to Sox Fest Live at Ramova, which is probably not a bad deal. Okay?
Yeah, sure.
Because if there's only 16, 20, 30 people that get this, there's going to be all the players and people that you want to talk to are going to be right there.
Right.
You go right up with your flats, to get autographed or whatever, and make sure
get a photo op, get some pictures with these people.
Yeah. You can talk shit to them. You can do whatever you want, basically. So that's not bad. You get access to the White Sox black carpet welcoming event, VIPs, players, and other distinguished attendees. Now, so there could be some, like
surprises along the way as well, huh?
You never know. Like John Sheriffin might just walk out there, down that black carpet. You don't know. Steve Stone might roll down that carpet too. Steve Stone's girlfriend at the time. Who knows? I don't know. Premium level 2 lounge area with elevated main stage sightline and unobstructed program viewing. So you will not be blocked by anything, especially a fucking big gigantic foul pole. Not happening because it's unobstructed.
To be in that sweet balcony, that's pretty nice. Okay.
You can't.
That's cool.
MVP experience exclusive photo opportunities, a private meet and greet session with White Sox VIP attendees, complimentary light appetizers.
Oh, okay.
And they've done this at the other Sox Fest too. 4 lower level tickets to a select 2025 White Sox home game with restrictions. So you can't be like, hey, I'm going to buy this and then I want to go to opening day for free.
Or I'll get Cubs and I'll just flip them.
Yeah, I want
to get
Cubs
some of
and
the cost
Yankees
back.
and give me the Dodgers. Well, the Dodgers won't be here, but so yeah, there you can't do that. That shit's off the board. So, but that's what you get for an MVP. Again, almost $260 a night for that. So
now, MySoxSummer, we've been talking in hypotheticals about who you might meet, who you might see. Have there been any announcements of who you absolutely will see at the Sox Fest Live at Roto
I went
Theater?
and checked today because I was like, they announced this 3 weeks ago. They've obviously had this dialed in. They're going to start telling us that, like, yes, AJ Pierzynski's going to be there, even though he got fired by the White Sox for expressing his opinions. Yes, Paul Konerko, your captain. Oh, my captain is going to be there. No, absolutely no announcements of who's going to be there other than Chris Getz and Will Venable. Like, we know those two are going to be there because they say specifically in the website. I'm going to pull the website. I have 2 monitors now.
Go for it.
I'm going to pull it over here.
The Violet Myers monitor is getting a workout today with actual Sox stuff. Love it.
It says, in addition to hearing from the members of the 2025 White Sox clubhouse, new manager Will Venable and the front office fans will blah blah blah. No, I've read that already. Fuck. No, there was another one where they legit say that, like, Will and Chris Getz will be answering your questions. So beautiful. Like you're gonna get the loud questions on them. No mention of Jerry, which, I mean, listen, that guy's got enough money. I don't think he wants to come and take any type of abuse for this bullshit. Like,
it's a small venue too. I don't know if he's got to play a bigger house than
I mean, they used to play the small rooms at the Palmer Auditorium. Like the smaller, not Palmer Auditorium, but the Palmer House. And so he would show up for those. But yeah, it's usually Kenny Williams taking the shit on those.
Yeah, not that I was a big Sox Fest guy ever, but I do remember hearing all that. That Kenny would he would go unabated. He would talk to people, and get up on stage and take questions from the real fans, which I respect that. I respect Kenny for doing that. Yeah, exactly. There could be some yelling this time if they'd allowed it. We'll see. You just never know. Now, here's a question I've had in the back of my head because we're going to get into the way Sox Fest used to be and all that in a little while. But I was thinking, this event right here and going into the Ramova, we did a live show at the Ramova.
Right.
This sounds like an adults-only event. What is going on with the kids? What's the activities for the kids? Are there any even?
I haven't seen anything that says that kids are not allowed at the Ramova. So, I mean, they serve food. They got a grill down there. They got the chili that everyone in Bridgeport is like, it's not the same, and it's not the same price as it was in '67. What the fuck? I used to get 6 bowls of chili for $1.50, and I could feed my family for 6 weeks, But no, so the kids are still allowed to come, I'm sure. And I think it's going to be like usually a PG event anyway. So I don't think you're going to run into like we're not going to have like dirty comics up there, like telling dick jokes. That's not really what Sox Fest has ever been. But Sox Fest they're going to be doing a Sox Fest kids camp over in the Adams Park. It is the ComEd Rec Center. And I don't know if you've been there.
I have not.
This place is over. It says it's right by the South Loop Costco, or the South. Yeah, I think it's South Loop Costco, which is not in the South Loop, but it is over there. It's
not like Ashland, right? That Costco is that what you're talking about? Is that the one on Ashland? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, South Loop, bro. I don't think so.
That's not South Loop.
But so it's a ComEd Rec Center. They have indoor playing fields. They have I think 6 soccer fields inside. They have baseball fields. They have everything. It is a beautiful facility. The taxpayer money that went into that is just
oh baby.
And it's Jane Addams Park, or I think it's Jane Addams Park, and then it's ComEd put a bunch of money, and it's nice. The girls learn how to play basketball there, not well, but they learn. It's $35 a kid.
Okay.
It is from 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Ages only 5 to 12. You have to bring your own glove, your own bat, and and shoes and stuff to go and have some fun. A hands-on baseball clinic with accomplished White Sox youth instructors.
Ooh, that means Mike Huff, right? That code for Mike Huff will be here. That's the code right there.
No, see, Mike Huff also does all the youth sports programming stuff too. Like he's the one that like works with the local leagues. He's working with the Bridgeport League to get the uniforms for our kids and everything. So that that's his job. It's pretty cool.
He didn't work with that shit when I was a kid. Although I guess he was probably playing when I was a kid.
He was probably still playing when you were a kid.
Still playing when I was a kid.
It was 27 years ago. Jesus Christ, dude. I mean,
he's out trying to stab on the road. He ain't trying to help out kids get uniforms back then.
No, I'm not doing that. No, so so anyway, they're gonna have this is where it gets they're gonna have rotating stations focused on hitting, pitching, fielding, and outfield skills. Hopefully Oscar Colas is there too. And he's gonna take some outfield.
He's a little older than 12, but maybe he could use the reps. That's I don't disagree.
And listen, anything at this point to keep him in the lineup. Now, this is gonna piss off especially Ken Wu. They're going to get a limited edition Sox Fest Kids Camp t-shirt. That's not going to make Ken mad. But they're going to have exclusive autograph and photo opportunities with select White Sox players. Okay, so the kids are getting all the autographs from 2 to 3:30 p.m. over at the ComEd Rec Center. All right, our guy Gene Kelly, he's all up in the comments. He's going to be stalking whoever's at the clinic outside with all his big items to get autographed. No doubt.
Send the kids in with all the merch.
So the only mention on any of these things about getting autographs is at the kids' pay. So, and that kind of plays to how the Sox have kind of wanted to like change up this event. So I can understand that.
Kind of feeling that. A couple comments here I want to get to, and feel free to super chat. You guys don't have to comment. You can also pay a little bit, and I'll pick it up for sure. Our guy Slim Mick says, I hope MSS does better on this show than he did last Thursday during the Rule 5 draft pick or porn star. Yeah, you got crushed in that. I'm sorry, my friend. You got clobbered, and I re-listened to it. I was like, man, that was bad. You struggled a little bit.
I was over 500. I think I got 7 right, and I missed 4, right? Or 5.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of freaking people to try to keep it right. Usually it's like 6 people.
I did better in this or that. I mean, let's just take it easy there. And then Treasy says
named Griff. No one's named Griff anymore.
Treasy says Frank Thomas will be selling boner pills to the dads. I don't know. That's unconfirmed. All right, we have not had that announcement confirmed that that's going to be happening at Sox Fest. Okay. All right. So MSS, other than stealing our ideas because we're super geniuses, why do you think the White Sox are choosing this path for Sox Fest, which is a different one? And we'll get into in a little bit what old Sox Fest used to be like and be loved for. Why do you think they're going in this direction, my friend?
This is a great. One of your greatest things, like you picking the over under or total runs or whatever, total runs this year
runs allowed,
the Josh Nelson stake bet, like is something that just amazes me. And I know Mick loves that. I'm amazed by that, but I'm just always like, he's so good at these numbers. But this is another thing that you brought up. You're like, why are they actively kind of doing things to like kind of change what they're doing, right? And like what fans are coming in. Because this is a stark contrast to like how it's always been. And it's also weird because at the beginning of this season, I know very few people probably remember this, but like we had an owner talking about how he can't sell tickets in this neighborhood and he can't get people to come down to this neighborhood and to support his team that's out there.
Right.
But yet now it seems like there's the people inside the organization are saying we need to stay local. We need to have this community. We need to build something together here. And I'm like, it's very confusing from a fan, especially a fan that works closely with a lot of this stuff or is very much on the peripheral. And then seeing people inside the organization do things and then the people at the top of the organization do a different thing. And you're just like, I don't know. And I think the biggest thing is just it's confusing. There's a lot of confusion over there. But also, I think they're ready to like make this what the event that they've always wanted it to be, which is not an autograph show, not people screaming at the players. I'm not treating the players like shit, and make it something that is showing off what they have. Which works really good if you're a World Series winner, not a team that will lost 121 games. So it's I think they've like, listen, we're going to bring this back, but we're going to do it the way we've always wanted to do it, not what it became. So I think that's the biggest thing. I think they just wanted to jettison what they've done in past and to say, we're doing something new. We're bringing it back because you assholes keep saying bring it back. So we're bringing it back, but we're not doing any of the things that you wanted us to bring back.
I was going to say, well, MSS, do you think there was any influence from, they did an event before the season that they did at the, where did they do that again? We were all at the
Field Museum.
The Field Museum, right?
Yes.
And there had to be, I don't know, a couple thousand people there. And the setup was, they had a panel, a little talking or whatever. Yep. Then it was, you could get in line to get a picture with a player if you wanted to, but it wasn't autographs. It was more mingling and partying with the other fans. Kind of was the thought process there. And okay, you can go walk around the museum and see some of the exhibits, which we all did. We did a bunch of that stuff too.
Yeah.
But you'd think that they saw that went pretty damn well, other than they ran out of beer, and thought, man, maybe we jump off into this direction. Maybe it's a direction we've always wanted to go in.
Yeah, they autographs last year. Guys were just definitely signing autographs last year to people that brought stuff in. A lot of flats and whatnot. But that was one thing that it definitely got at the beginning. They're like, you can't bring your. I didn't say me because somebody sent me the information. Yeah. Don't bring a bag because they're not allowing you in with bags. And SoxFest used to be guys to be walking around with a goddamn backpack. You know that picture of that guy with the backpack that's like the size of, like a mountain on his back, like that was.
Yeah, guys who are going on big hiking trips. That would be the guys with all their fucking 100%. Gear that they're going to get signed.
Yep. Because if you ran into Jose Abreu, all with bloodshotty eyes at 2 a.m., coming in from Maestros, whatever, and you're like, listen, I need to get out the 17 bats I have for him to sign, and like he'll just rip them off, So you got to have that shit on you. But yeah, so yeah, no, it's I don't know if that was like a precursor, but it definitely is like, this is more of the event we want to have, where we just talk and people like see it, and then you can take a picture, but you're not going to get anything signed. We're not waiting for you guys to sit around. This isn't,
hey, come in here and get cheap autographs festival. Whereas like you see now that some of these signings, people are commanding quite a bit of money, and I would think you got a great arbitrage situation in the old days of SoxFest where you could get a lot of autographs for a lot cheaper price than what the people would be individually, I would guess, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, let's move on to, why are the majority of Sox fans so fucking mad about this change, MySoxSummer? Is it just the autographs? Is it just that? Is there anything else? What's up?
Yeah, let's bring up Mr. Hand, who seems to be a little like angry in here. It's always been about autographs. And it was the first ones that hired me, bro. It was about autographs. I think Mr. Hand would agree that I think the first one was in 91. So it's like the world of sports collecting in autographs and all that stuff has totally changed. And it's not the same as it was, 30 years ago.
Okay.
Why are they mad? Because you used to be able to spend, I would say, less than $50 to get a day pass at SoxFest, and you could map out what you wanted, and you could get 10, 15 autographs in a day. I mean, and if you ran into somebody, even better, and then if you included the other days and you had a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you could get everybody you wanted on the team, any of the guys that you were like, coming back for like celebrating or whatever, any of the vets, and then like even the season ticket holder event, before it, you could just get a ton of shit done. Like I'm a guy that gets bobbleheads autographed, and it would be so less stressful to go to the season ticket holder event and get 3 things signed or 4 things signed there, so I don't have to wait in line for 2 hours to get a fucking wristband, and then stand in line to get the autograph, and then have to run over to the next stage to go get another wristband to get an autograph. I think the fans, and I was with some of them at the garage sale this weekend, I think the biggest thing is like the autographs. Like they're just saying that there's no more autographs is the biggest thing, and then also making the event, I think, seem really cheap and small. Like just making it really small, as opposed to there's not going to be a garage sale there like the game use stuff that you can go around. It's not going to be tons of free like things for people to do, like play this game, win this. There's going to be no vendors there. which I know Gene is upset about too, because he wanted to have a table. They'd have a vendor area where people would bring a bunch of their White Sox stuff and sell their shit
to other fans who could sell it off. So it's like a flea market, kind of like a little. Yeah, okay, interesting.
Pretty much. And if you were there Friday, like a lot of times you get these guys that they had no idea what they had, and they'd have a bunch of bobbleheads out there, and who's out there sniping those bobbleheads? This guy. He's getting it. I need that, and I know I can sell that for more than $5. I'll give you $5, and then they're like, yeah, sure, and then I'll flip it. So yeah, no, I think that's the biggest thing. The biggest thing is definitely the autographs. Everyone, you were getting an incredible deal. I mean, even get like shitty guys now. It's $59.99. You know, our friends Collectors Cave, they'll bring in like I think Gordon Beckham was $39.99. Gordon Beckham,
$40.
I mean, I like Gordon. Don't get me wrong. He was an incredibly nice guy.
Yeah, no,
but like
that seems like
$40 to get his shit signed when I could usually get like an Abreu and a Robert and all these things for like $50. No,
yeah,
I mean,
that's
a little weird.
Well, I mean, you've been starting to take me through it. I was not a guy who went to Sox Fest like ever. I think I went one time as a very much younger man,
right.
With a friend. I would go to this what we used to call Sox Prom, which was the season ticket holder party the night before it started. It was usually on like the Thursday night or maybe before it, which was like cocktails and just people hanging out, and players and coaches and shit would be there. But there wasn't a lot of hawking, valuables to get signatures. It was just hanging out and drinking. Can you lay out for me what did Sox Fest look like before COVID? What was it? What was the layout? What was the setup of the Sox Fest back then?
The last one that before, because the 2021 was at McCormick Place, and that was the first year that they were at McCormick Place, and they were in the West Hall, and it was huge. It was just gigantic, and there was so much shit everywhere. That year, I just kind of like took a back seat. I was like, I'm not going crazy on this because I don't know what this is going to be like. But the years before that, the Hyatt and the Palmer House, like I was definitely all in, especially because I was getting free tickets. Thank you, White Sox. But I was a season ticket holder. I mean, they're like, what, can I do something for you? And that was the one thing they usually did for me. Get me in Friday, and then we had to buy them because I needed to get bobbleheads. So yeah, you'd get a hotel package with your buddies, and me, it was Bobble's Gym and it was Wally Money. And that's how we met Wally Money, because we bought a hotel package together, the four of us. And those two dudes would stay in the hotel and I would go back and forth, but I would purchase an extra ticket so I could get an extra bobblehead and sell that motherfucker for hopefully all the things that I was spending my money on that weekend. I'm always trying to be cost. All these costs.
You like to get value. I like to refer to you as a man who likes to get value. That's all. It's
yeah. And when you don't have a job and you have two new kids, you're just like, hey, listen. Trying to explain to your wife that you just spent $600, at Sox Fest is not usually the best thing, but you're like, I made back everything I spent. So then they get into it. But no, so you would get there, you get your ticket. And then the Friday, Saturday, there'd be a staging room. They would put you in this room so you could get in line to then go to the place where they would have the autograph signings.
Okay.
And then they would walk you over to the area where there's going to be an autograph signing, and then they would open the door, and then people would just dead sprint to wherever they needed to go, whatever stage they needed to get the wristband that they wanted to get for whatever the person who was signing. So like Frank Thomas is going to sign on stage A in room 7, right? So I got to go over there and get that fucking band. And once you got that wristband, you couldn't get any other autographs on any other stage because you had a wristband.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was your line. That was the one you were going to do. Okay.
That's what you're doing until that gets cut off. So like my first Sox Fest, I was at Palmer House. Paul Konerko is going to be there. That's the guy I want. I want to get him on my 05 ball. I wait in line for 2 hours to get the wristband, and then wait in line 2 hours after I get the wristband to get his autograph. 4 hours to get Paul Konerko's autograph. Like you could have gone and got everybody else during those 4 hours.
All right,
but I had to be there because everyone wanted Paul Konerko's autograph that day. So it was fine. It worked out fine, and I had a good time. But like, definitely had to do that. So yeah, that's what Sox Fest started at. So until you got that band cut off after you get the autograph, you can't go get in line for something else. So say Frank Thomas is going to sign 250 people, 250 things, 250 bands are the first ones that will be there. And when they're gone, they're gone.
Okay.
That's over for that day. Then you go to the next stage, or like we literally would get a spreadsheet and you would say, this is our priority stage to get to. This is our second priority. This is our third priority. So if this is out, then we go here. And if that's out, we go here. You know, we're like, here's how you do it. And then you map it out of how it's going to go. And once you get, like, well, at least we did, was once you got the guy that you needed, you X'd him out. And then you could have, you're like, okay, I got free time here, so I can go somewhere and go get assist.
Try to
like,
find the guy. Or yeah, okay,
interesting. Or Wally, you know, ran into Ed Farmer in the hallway before there and got a picture printed. So now he's got 2 things that he needs Ed Farmer to sign. So I will go up there with Wally to get the Ed Farmer signature. So like he doesn't have to go through the line 2 times.
Twice. Yeah.
You know, so like you could do stuff like that too. But yeah, that's basically what it was. And like the coolest thing about it, and it's much like it was this weekend at the garage sale. You're like next to each other with other White Sox fans, and you're just bullshitting, and you're talking about the team, you're talking about the upcoming season, talking about who the person is that you're gonna, you know, get an autograph from, what they're into, what they collect, what they've, you know, what was their experience. You're just bullshitting. So you had 3 straight days of being with these people, and
it's like a camaraderie, assuming you get along with these people.
Yeah, and like a shitload of like smelly people, and you know, and autograph people, and like people just crushing like shit food, beggars pizza, and Miller Lights, and like just people having a good time. And it was very nice. Like it's very reminiscent of like our events at Reggie's. People dead of winter, we haven't played baseball in 3 or 4 months, and everyone just gets back together and you just start shooting the shit about something, and you're excited again because of what's coming up. You know, you're a hardcore baseball fan is going to Sox Fest. You know, a hardcore baseball fan's going to the Sox fan is going to the garage sale. So you're meeting people that are the same as you, and you talk about that shit. You're like, oh, I remember that one time that such and such happened. So yeah. That's kind of what it was.
The only difference, no autographs at our event. Please, no autographs.
I mean,
now is there anything else at the old Sox Fest that went on besides the autographs? You're focusing a lot on the autograph. Was there other stuff that occurred?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. What else? Paint the picture for me, baby. What else we got there?
They would have the last one at McCormick Place. They had the Goose Island bar that was right next to the stage, and then people would get up on stage. Rick Hahn got up on stage and talked, and people would ask questions. Okay, so there is a contingent of people that would go to these seminars. Aloha, Mr. Hand is one of them. My dad, Farmer Matt, or more. Like you would go. We're going to put together a panel of the 83 guys. You got, you know, Carlton Fisk, Ron Kittle, Harold Baines, and whatever. They're going to get up there and shoot the shit, and Jay Spinetti is going to tell you about it. You know, he's going to host it, right? So they'll do that. Nice. Or you got Alyssa Bergamini is going to be over with the kids club, and Tim Anderson's going to come over there, and he's going to judge the kids doing bat flips. You know, like that kind of stuff.
Okay,
like just some fun stuff, shit, right? Yeah. Like, and that's probably still going to be there, right? Like these are the things that you would probably expect to still see at the new Sox Fest. You know, people would make announcements, Southpaws running around everywhere. You had a lot of different stuff, but like I keep saying it because that was more what I was into was the autographs, but like there was definitely panels and there was things that some people wanted to see some of these things, but for the most part, I'm gonna.
You didn't see them.
I'm willing to venture.
Yeah.
85% of the people were there to get fucking autographs,
or
meet somebody, or do something, you know, or talk to have an experience with a player, right? Yeah. And it just so happens this is an autograph. So if it's gonna be a photo thing or whatever, people love that shit. Some people like take pictures with these guys and put them on their walls, and they're like, "Yeah, look, there's me with Frank Thomas. There's me with Aaron Rowan in the World Series trophy." You know, like some people are into that. I'm not into it. I don't give a shit. Like, I want you to sign my bobblehead. You know, I need that autograph on the bobblehead. So,
give me my.
But there have been some good panels. I remember Ron Kittle making fun of Carlton Fisk driving in a cornfield drunk. That was funny.
Hello, friend.
I remember not meeting Harold Baines and Harold Baines autographing something for me, and I'm saying thank you. You know, you were my favorite player growing up, and he just kind of looked at me and didn't say anything. And I was like, God damn it, what a dick. And then later finding out that like he just doesn't talk. That's just not who he is, you know. So I'm like, okay, yeah. Right? So this is who this is, right? So and they have like a kids panel where they put all the players up on the stage, or had put up all the stage, and kids get to ask questions.
Okay,
and like Farmer Matt's child one time goes like, you know, what video games do you like to play? And the guy told him, and he's like, do you hate the Cubs, and the guy's like, yes, and that made the paper, and it was all over the place, like he's like, I have to hate the Cubs because this is it, but yeah, so there is a contingent of people that want to go and listen to those panels, so. Right. And like these guys in the comments, like Gene's bringing up stuff, and Aloha is bringing up stuff. They're like, yeah, 2005, man, 2004, 2000. Bitch, I wasn't around. Okay, I've only been here since 2012.
It's 20 years ago.
I only have 13 years of the Sox Fest and to like go from. Like I can't pull from the beginning of the Sox Fest. I was not here. I just wasn't here. So I'm trying my best.
Now, MySoxSummer, let me ask you this. So you have some nostalgia for the old Sox Fest, and it sounds like a lot of Sox fans do in general. They really like the way that worked. Now, do you know of any teams that currently still run a festival that's like the old Sox Fest? Are any of the current teams still doing this at all?
No. Not one. And that was like why it is such not a shocker that this has finally ended. Because I feel like I've written the same blog like 4 times, calling the end like this is going to end soon because no other team does this. Yeah. And like I'm sure somebody's going to get in there. Gene, they do not. Gene's saying yes. Fucking Cubs do it. No, they don't. They fucking for the high end guys. You have to get scratch off tickets. Like you have to go in and like it's a lottery thing. Like you just don't. You couldn't just get everybody. It's not the same thing to me. Yeah. So it's a little bit different. Like I was reading this guy because I do research before I write blogs, and I know that's hard for people to believe this. But,
I believe it. I see you, but
there was a guy that was there. Actually, Loha might be right. Like the Brewers might actually do something somewhat similar.
Okay,
but it's different.
It's different. It's not the same idea.
I don't think it's the same. I think that there is like donation levels that you have to get to like.
Got it. Okay, so it's not a pay a certain amount, get in and get what you can get. It's you got to pay more if you want that guy, and pay more if you want that other guy. That sort of shit. Okay.
So this guy was saying he went to the Braves convention, the Fan Fest, and I just like sent him a message, and I was like, hey. What does it cost you to get this stuff, or how does it work? Tell me how it works because everyone's complaining like about the Sox one and like how it's going to come back. And he goes, he's like, you got to get tickets for the thing, and if it's a top tier player, you have to pay this much money to get the autograph. It's all for charity. It goes to charity. It's not going in the player's pocket. But like to get like Acuna Jr. to sign your bag or baseball bat or whatever a base, it was like $600. Like he was spending shitloads of money to get these guys on there. Yeah. And I'm like, so when I would release these vlogs and say, hey, listen. I know the Royals do it like this. They'll have like a table of veterans. So there'll be 3 veterans there. You pay $25 and you get all 3 of those guys to autograph it, right? And you buy the ticket or whatever, and then you're in line and you're guaranteed that. Or you have the rookies. Okay, three rookie guys that are going to be up there, whatever. And then you get into the stars. You could have a star and then 2 no-namers on each end, and then you pay $50, to get these kind of things. So like it's one of these things where like I think if you would have like moved into that realm, I think a lot more people would still be upset. Sox,
I think they'd be pissed because it's more expensive. It's going to be a different thing, basically, right? I mean,
anything the White Sox do, there is going to be a certain section of White Sox fans that are pissed off. Like I'm that's just what's going to happen. It's because it's not the way it was, and it's God damn it, keep fucking play the Pirates of the Caribbean fucking theme and just. Fucking get the goddamn, patch back on the uniform. What the fuck? What are we doing?
Where are the vests?
Where are the vests?
I hate the vests.
The vests
are horrible.
I mean, but that's how the Sox.
But a lot of people are like, get the vests back. Yeah, exactly.
Nothing needs to change. It's much like Bridgeport. Nothing needs to change. Even if the fucking place is not selling anything anymore, it should still be there for 10 years down the road when I want that bowl of chili. I haven't been there for 10 years, but I want that chili to still be there, even though I don't use it. So like, this is kind of what it is. But yeah, no, I wish they would have moved into the ticket thing because I think it would have kept a lot more people happy. But buddy, that's a shitload of work. And if there's anything I know about the Sox when it comes to Sox Fest, less work, the better. Like, I don't want to do all that work because I don't think they liked it. So I just think they're getting what they want now. And I don't think that's how they want to do it. Clearly.
I think it's just change in approach because they want to. Now, how much of this change in approach, MSS, do you think is strictly related to a dwindling fan base because of a poor performance on the field, and how much is just related to, hey, this is the new times, this is how things get done, and the people who organize these events are like, we want to do an event like the other ones because we think that's a better event.
Yeah, no, okay. Friday, it is what, 15 degrees outside?
Yeah.
White Sox lost 121 games. There were people that had been standing outside for 8 hours to get into the garage sale to buy jerseys, hats, stuff first, right? Like, just because they know there's going to be good stuff when you get there initially.
Yeah,
I would say after 25 minutes, there was no line you could get right in. But somebody needs that extra real wait 4 hours to get in there to get there early.
I agree with you that this happens. How many of these people, though, are people that are doing this for profit, and this isn't just they're big fans of stuff? Because we need to delineate here the line, because a lot of what you're telling me, to, especially with all the autographs and shit, to me sounded like that's either collector stuff or people are doing for profit. Now, collectors can be fans, or whatever, but the average fan doesn't collect all this shit too. So, like, there is a line somewhere in there, right?
There's a guy that the guy that's the number one guy usually. His name's Edgar, and he is just. I want to hate him, right? Because he gets everything. He has everything, and he has so much good shit. He has a great collection. I'm gonna get him on something at some point, and we're gonna talk or I'm gonna go do a video over there or do whatever. But I want to hate him, but I can't hate him because he doesn't sell anything. He's got something wrong in his head where he's like, I need to buy this, right? Why did he buy 4 sets of Corey Lee's catcher gear? I don't know. Like, I don't know why. But he bought 4 of them. Like,
future cosplay, maybe.
Like, I don't know. It's just crazy. It's just what he's got, what he's into. So I don't think he's selling. No, yes, there are some resellers. I'm a reseller sometimes too. Like,
allegedly,
I get too many things. I gotta get it out of my basement. Something I'm not in love with as I used to be. I fucking gotta get rid of it. So yeah, I mean, I think that they didn't make the venue smaller because they couldn't fill McCormick Place. That is, I think that's totally separate because people were complaining even last year when they shot that, like when Merck posted that picture on Instagram of all the players over at the Valentine Boys Club, you know, the Boys and Girls Club over here. And people are like, who the fuck are these people? And they're the same.
And Benintendi was in the picture.
And Benintendi was in the picture, but he just looks totally different than what you would think he would look like without a hat. Because his hair he had like a big, you know, Italian fro thing going. I don't know. It was a lot. But like people are like, who the fuck are these guys? Who am I gonna get autographs from? But god damn it, bring back the fucking Sox Fest. I want to go there because like, people want to still do that. I mean, I think it's 2 separate lanes. It really is. And Gene is in there saying that it's always worked and it's worked great for 30 years.
No, let me address Gene's comment too. Gene,
and up years,
I didn't mean that everyone is reselling stuff. I said there's resellers. There's also people who are like hardcore collectors, but that isn't representative of every person who's a big Sox fan. Not everyone wants autographs. In fact, I know for myself and Treasy, we're humongous Sox fans. We don't give a fuck about any autographs. We would choose to never get an autograph. So I just wanted to figure out like how much of each is it, you know, kind of like just so I understand the pool of people.
And I would think that Gene also knows this too, that there would be some guys that would come in and they would have 7, 8 kids that would be working for him all weekend, getting tons of shit signed. Like, and that I watched Jose Abreu when he was his first year there, and a kid came up with a stack of photos of him in his Cuba uni, just like hitting it, and he just put them down, and Jose would sign it, and then he'd pull it away, and he'd sign the next one, and he'd pull it away until somebody goes, Jose, you don't have to sign all these, just sign one. And then the guy's like, thanks, Jose, and walks away. You know, so I mean, there was definitely people taking advantage of it. I knew a dude that used to wear like a sweatshirt. And even though it was like 9,000 degrees at the Hyatt, I mean, and it was just stinky, but he would wear a sweatshirt so that he could shove one band up higher and then go get another band. Like there's all sorts of fucking
angle shooting.
What do they say? It's like total greaseball shit. You know, like this is like what people did, and it's hard to hate on those things. You know, you're just like, hey, listen, you found an angle, you figured it out, you know, whatever. You know, like I one of our guys, Brian O'Connor, he's a security guy, works the bullpen, and he retired Chicago CPD. He was working the event one time, and he's like, "Oh, who are you trying to get?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm trying to get Ozzy." He's like, "Oh, I know Ozzy. Just stand over here. I got to walk him to the next stage." He's like, "He'll sign it for you. Don't worry about it." And I was like, "Fuck, right now I don't got to get in line. This is awesome." They ran out of fucking bands, and my guy Brian's hooking me up. Fuck yeah! And then Ozzy comes over, and he's like, "Oh, you know Brian? Oh yeah." And then he fucking signs this shit. You know, it was great. So
I love it.
It's just, you know, it's just what it is. I mean, I don't think that the smaller venue has anything to do with the performance. I think it's a standalone.
So your contention, and it seems like a lot of people in the comments and general Sox fan reaction is they don't give a fuck how bad the team was. They liked the old version of Sox Fest and would attend it regardless. Yes. And even if it was like a diminished crowd, even if it was like, okay, the current players, you don't know a lot of them, or they're not a lot of valuable ones, and then a handful of the older players, they would still be, it seems like it would still be popular amongst the crowd that used to really like to attend it.
And as a guy that sells giveaway items when he gets extras and whatever, there's not a lot of money left in White Sox resale stuff. I'm putting it out there. There's so many people doing it. Like, I used to be able to make good money on it. I don't anymore because there's everybody and their brothers doing it. You see them guys with the garbage bags. I can't compete with a guy that's getting it for $5. You know, I'm not doing it anymore.
Your heyday is over with that.
My heyday is done. Like, I lived it. Now I gotta get a new scam. I don't know what it is.
More higher prices for ad reads. Now let's start on the gauntlet here. Here's what I need from you, MySoxSummer. This is how we're going to close this. All right.
Yes.
I want you to lay out for me, if you were the czar of putting together Sox Fest or Sox Fest Live or Fan Fest or whatever the fuck it was,
right?
How would you do this if you had unlimited power? Forget about the logistics. We understand, kind of all they're shooting for one thing and the old one. What would you do if you were in charge and you could do whatever you wanted here?
Okay, so venue, definitely, I think that the McCormick place was great. I think that would be a good location because it's just right there and it's so big that you can have space to get away from people. And it's not a small, cramped area, and it's easy. Okay. You could also, one of the biggest things that was always a problem I felt like that people ran into, like if you didn't know Sox Fest, you didn't know you needed to get in line 2 hours before the signing to get a bracelet. So you could clearly communicate to people, this line here, you had like a stockade, right? Like what you put steer in. You'd be like, this is the Frank Thomas line. This is this line. So if you want him, you sit here and it opens at this time. And you can get in line at that point, and then we will give you your band. So it would just make it much easier, and would be, do that. Now,
so more clear directions to everyone who is
very
is
more
doing
clear.
Stuff. Okay, got it.
Very more clear. So that venue wise, I think McCormick Place is that. I would run it the same way. You want me just to go through I got the question.
Yeah, go through it. Go through it, baby. How would you do it? Go through it.
Same way I would think you would do a Friday night. That's like a easy night, like not as many people. Saturday is your big day where it's like just chock full of people. Sunday, a lot lighter, right? And you don't have as much. I like the 3-day format. I think that is like perfect to get all that stuff.
Now your Sunday is your Sunday running from like 9 a.m. to like 9 p.m. or how's this? I'm not Sunday, Saturday. The Saturday all day is it 12 hours or something like that?
It's 12 hours.
Okay,
yeah. Sunday ends by 5 o'clock.
Okay, Sunday's a little earlier. Okay, got it.
And it's late, 10 o'clock on Friday. Like it's a late night one on Friday, and then it's an early, it's early evening on Sunday. And you're dead by that day. I mean, the Sunday as an attendee, you're done. Like you just don't even want to do it anymore. You're like, oh fuck, do I really want to get in line for fucking Len Casper? No, I don't. I'm gonna go home and not smell the rank ass smell that I've been smelling all day, which is me. Now
lovely.
So that's the next thing. What would it cost? Yeah. I think it needs, if you got to pay for the room, then you have a nominal ticket charge, like $20, $25.
Okay.
But you got to pay for the autographs. I really think that it needs to be that way.
So you do specific cost for specific guys autographing.
Yep.
And I think donate it to charity or whatever you want to do. So
Yep. And like you could operate the same way. Just make sure that somebody Jose Abreu is going to be way more than Oscar Colas. right? Oscar
Right,
Colas
yep.
should be with 3 other people, and it should be $10. You know, so like you can't you have this, but having it's a lower ticket price, kids free, kids can be in for free, no big deal there, but they still got to pay for the autographs. They got to learn.
Yep.
They got to learn that you can't just get everything for free.
But they can be hanging out and doing stuff and running around and checking out everything that's going on.
And they had a ton of shit at McCormick. They had like the fucking you've been in McCormick Place. They drove the fucking goddamn van in there, right? The Southpaw van, and Southpaw is on top of that fucking van, and he's whipping t-shirts or she's whipping t-shirts at all these people, like, you know, and just having a ball, man. It was a cool like setup. Like, so I do like that, but I still think you got to put the tickets in there. So that's for sure.
Love it.
Now, event wise, like, what are we doing?
What else?
You're gonna get back to what you're doing. Still doing it now. You have the people getting on stage and taking the abuse from the fans. That's fun. You know, everyone likes that, but you need to switch it up a little bit. Like Brooks Boyer, my buddy, my friend, my dear friend, godfather to my children. His fucking idea of having a podcast row where these like giving access for us to these players is a goddamn genius move. Listen, we're all tired of hearing Scott Merkin ask the same 7 questions to every player.
No disrespect, Scott.
And then trying to work in some fucking Michigan football thing, like, or basketball thing, depending on what's going on that day. Okay. Exactly. Like us having people walk down, like Lance Lynn, you know, racism's aside, before we knew that, like, would have been great to come down podcast row and fucking try to chug a beer, beat us or beat Missy in chugging a beer, you know, like while he's coming down. Like that, that's fucking entertaining. That's entertainment. That puts stuff out there. Like, people will see it. You know, it's a good story. You put it on the TikToks, the Instagram stuff, the reels. You Snapchat the shit out of that. People will love that. And and you're giving it to the people that know how to create that content. Right? Like, that are allowed to, because you don't work for the White Sox. Now, the White Sox at the end of last year, they started to have a little bit of fun on socials. So, like, maybe that will continue. I doubt it, but maybe that will continue. So,
but you're right. MSS outsource it to all the people who love to do it, and they'll do it for you and put it all over the internet for you.
And then they'll say, "Oh my God, I can't believe that so and so asked how big, you know, so and so's dick was on Podcast Row." And they're like, "Well, we can't invite them next year, but we're gonna get a lot of mentions, and people might buy tickets to go see some gigantic penis out in right field or something. Who knows?" So well, I mean, I think that's the big thing, and maybe that's what will happen with the Sox Fest being local. You know, maybe they'll incorporate some more local things. Maybe we'll have Local H there playing some songs because they said live music. Yep. Maybe we get Chance the Rapper is going to make amends for telling the Sox to fuck off after, you know, not wearing the Sox hat for however many years. Who knows? You know, like maybe there can be some surprises there. Like, I don't know. When you give me
potential.
Nothing. I have nothing right now to tell you how this is going to go. It could be anything, you know, like, it's how we would sell, you know, our event, you know, you're like, hey, we didn't announce anybody because the shit would sell out in 2 days. Now we got a big room, you know, so now we're going to have to start fucking like tickling the balls a little bit, tickle the undercarriage and saying, guess who's going to be there? Yeah. White Sox Dave's going to be there, you know, or like big.
That's not a true announcement for the show.
Not is not. No, I don't know if him and his new hair is going to be there with or without Nicky Smokes' is, you know, new Hunchback of Notre Dame face, you know, so who knows? But yeah,
MSS,
that's it.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Is there anything else you need from me?
No, I was just going to say thanks for coming on for discussing Sox Fest Live at Roma Theater, how Sox Fest used to be, and what you would do with Sox Fest if you could run it. Remember, we ain't trying to be right on the show. We're just trying to understand. Anything you want to plug before you go, and not the 18 things you did at the beginning of the goddamn 108 podcast when I wasn't there.
I feel like I got a lot of that out on the last podcast. It was mostly your fault because you weren't there to tell me to stop. But guys, we have tons of these. Not tons. I ordered more gray of the Nashville sweatshirt or shirts. I know a lot of people order the blue. You need to get a gray. The gray is very comfortable and looks really dapper, obviously. I mean, look at me. I look hardly fat in one of these things. So go over to 108.ing/merch and buy up some shit. You get a free shot glass loaf. You get one of these two.
I'm aware.
Random. If you spend $50, I send you both of them. Okay.
I only like the hashtag 108 because that's my idea. So
yeah, I know that is.
I heard you say that. I heard you say that, you bastard.
I say it a lot.
It's unique.
I've said it like 4 times. So
Thanks for coming on.
having
Thanks for
me
doing
on.
this, brother.
Thanks for letting me yell. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it. It was terrific, man.
Peace.
That was My Sox Summer. That was great. My Sox Summer gave you a very thorough exhibit of what's going on with the current Sox Fest, what Sox Fest used to be, and some of the gripes from the fans, which are totally legitimate in my mind. I really liked listening to that discussion there. Next week's guest on the Au Jus, fucking nobody. I'm taking a couple weeks off. We're going to do one more Au Jus before the end of the year. It'll be on December 30th. I think I might do a solo show, and I think I might do New Year's resolutions for myself for the White Sox. Some things I kind of want to see in the new year. So maybe that'll be the approach, or maybe I'll have a guess. Who the fuck knows? Thanks again to Punky's Pizza and Pasta and all the 108 family that was up in the YouTube comments. Appreciate you smashing the like button and your comments. There'll be no 108 podcast this Thursday, as Treasy and I will be in Las Vegas. So we'll see you guys very soon. Festivus is coming up December 19th. Bye, and I love all of you.